So to get to the top of Machu Picchu, it's like 13,000 feet in the air.
Yeah.
You'll be right there within the cloud coverage. It's spectacular. Like it is super cool. Now you take there's two different ways to get up there. It can take you 3 hours to walk the path
Mhm.
all the way up to the top, which it has a very interesting history. Because the royalty and the priests would live at the very top, and then the serf class every day had to walk all the way down to the bottom. 13,000 feet, walk all the way down to the bottom. Which if you go to the bottom, there's like a super dope hotel out there.
Mhm.
It's right next to this gorgeous river. I mean, it's you feel like you're in like another planet.
Mhm.
And so, they would have to get fresh water, fresh food, fresh materials, and every day walk it all the way up to the top and walk all the way back. And it was thousands of people doing this all the time to serve the rural class. And so you can take that path. It's about 2.5 to 3 hours to walk up it, maybe about 2 hours to go down. And then you can take the bus tour path, which is incredibly unsafe, but I don't think anyone's died lately. It's all switchbacks, just constant switchbacks.
Yeah.
I remember when I was with the Gen 6 team, we were going up there to investigate and do a documentary film. And it was cool because, like, I'm sitting here and I'm more or less like security. Right? That's kind of, I've always been the obscure guy in the background. And so my main role for this really was just the medical related stuff,
Mhm.
because we had older people out there. If there's a medical injury or emergency, that was my job to take care of them. And so here we are, we're in this freaking Greyhound bus, and our driver is like obscenely intoxicated, like absolutely drunk, super drunk. Like he's drinking beers. And so, like, when you go up the path of Machu Picchu, like I said, it's just switchbacks. There's no guardrail. There's none of that. It's like if the bus weaves the wrong way, and the bus lane is literally just wide enough for both buses to pass and like clip the mirrors sometimes. And outside of that, you're falling straight to your death. And these guys will go 30, 40 miles an hour and just drift up and down this thing. And I mean, the whole time you're sitting here just like doing this is because I mean, like they're just whipping this bus, and I'm like, how am I going to survive a roll down, 1,000 foot
For
mountain?
sure.
So that within itself is the first fun part of the trip. You
Mhm.
got to do the bus ride, so you can say you lived once in your life. But once you get up there, it's cool because the Inca Trail starts way back, I believe, in Cusco. So like we were in Cusco, we were in Machu Picchu, we were in Tambo, a few other different towns. And so like you start the Inca Trail, and these people will walk this trail that takes, sometimes like a week or two.
Wow.
I believe it may only be a week to get to Machu Picchu, and it's incredible. And this big travel groups, and on the way from Cusco to Machu Picchu, we took a private train, which was quite the delight. It was a beautiful train ride. It's about a 3 hour train ride through the Andes Mountains and through the
Mhm.
jungle. You see like a mile tall waterfall from the Andes Mountains. It's sick. I mean, like you feel like you're on a different planet, but you know it's surreal. And when you think about what it took for these people to make this stuff,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense.
No.
Sacsayhuama, at the big wall at Sacsayhuama, they film it so much. You see these rocks that are 30 tons, 40 tons, whatever. I mean, like 12 feet wide, 10 so tall, andesite rocks, like some of the hardest rock on the rock scale. And it's weird because it's like molten on the edges. It's not
Yeah.
Tetris, right? It's all molten, and you can see where it's like some of the rock does this, and
Yeah.
then the other rock will do the same thing, and it doesn't make sense architecturally. Like you would build something like that, and even like you go a little bit further down the Sacsayhuama wall where they have the biggest stone part of the wall. You keep going a little bit further right, and then the wall kind of does like one of these kind of dog legs out. You can see where it almost looks like giant fingerprints grab this rock
Mhm.
and pick the right. I mean, you can see 4 indentations. Like if you took your kid's Play-Doh and made a block and grabbed the side of it, that's what it looks like. And you can't not see it. And then not even that, like I'm sitting here trying to stick my pocket knife into some of these places, it's not working. And I try to stick even like one of my debit card, credit cards in between the stones, and it's so tight.
Yeah.
You can't do it. And it does not make any sense. And that's every bit of the architecture from all the archaeological sites that we visited. It's all like that. And so the Peruvian people, the Inca people will tell you that's there on site. We didn't build this.
Yeah.
And then they'll actually show you the stuff that their civilization built. Looks completely different, nowhere near big in size, doesn't even flow nice like all the other stuff does. And and all of this has sacrificial stuff, like human sacrifice to all their pagan gods. Like that's the whole area is meant for stuff like that. Interesting note. When you go there, like, and you got to visit Cusco, because in Cusco, not only does it have probably the best Marriott I've ever stayed at in the world,
Right.
It's a gorgeous Marriott, but the big cathedral that's there, that used to be the Inca castle. And so the Catholics came and they, during the Inquisition, anything that they found that was pagan related, that was a place where they were worshiping their ancestors or worshiping giants, they came and they destroyed it all. They destroyed the bones. We read the documents and talked to the people who talked about how, they would go to caves and they would worship the bones of these giants in caves. And so the Inquisition came in and they just destroyed it all, which is why you don't have much of anything there for physical proof. But the thing that the Inquisition did do is, after destroying, is they documented everything.
Yep.
And so there's parts of the museums that's in Peru you can go to and you can read these documents where Inquisition's sitting there saying, we found a giant skull so big that you could stick a whole sword all the way up to the hilt into the eye socket. Now, whether that's real or whether it's, conjecture, that's up to, the person reading. But it's what's interesting is that everywhere there was a temple monument, they built a church.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.